Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. Not too horrible of a morning. I mean, the volatility is better than the last 2 days, but still not really all the way normal. I have only taken 2 trades this morning. They both won. I have not missed any trades. So we're doing halfway decent this morning. Just halfway decent. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind that. Some pretty decent volume spikes. Good morning, Rio. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. Oh, I can. Oh, it didn't matter anyway. My God. My goodness. I'm gonna take a buy off of this low. Ooh. Okay. Well, that moved fast. It was what I was looking for. I think it's just the weird volume spike right now. Which, it is what it is. It is what it is. Was literally wicked out by a few ticks and then it went straight in my direction. The joys of a tight stop loss. I hate the mornings when my first trade on the stream is a loss, but I was winning beforehand. Yeah, I don't know where all of this sudden volume came from, but I like it. I definitely like it. Good morning, T-Money. How are you this morning? Tradovated Terrible Trenches. What happened now? Are you talking about from the video you sent me? I think that guy just hit his trail and drawdown. Or you had other issues this morning. I think it's time for y'all to come to the dark side of Rhythmic. I cannot believe those people did all those tests this weekend and said that there were no issues with Tradeovate. Like, are y'all for real? And my thing is, whether you can replicate the issue or not, you cannot negate the fact that so many people sent you screenshots and videos showing proof that there was a problem. I just don't, that's the part I don't really vibe with and I don't really understand. You cannot negate the issues like that. You just can't. It just doesn't make sense to me. And for me, it's not even about y'all fixing accounts. It's about y'all. And this is not even an Apex thing. Trading said that it wasn't a problem. Even the same thing with Rhythmic. Like, it's always Rhythmic that'll say that it's not an issue and stuff like that. And I just don't get it, man. 359. It's not what I was looking for. I just really don't understand. For you to see all of these issues and just say, oh no, not an issue on our end. Like, what? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Just don't. No, today you're up 400, but it's crazy. It's like it's getting worse. I damn near have. I promise you. Good morning, Granny. I promise that might be your best bet. Because at the rate the Trading is going, y'all basically are having more issues in the last like 2 weeks than Rhythmic has had in a year. And I just don't understand. You've been getting bad feels all week. Like, so I'm gonna tell you what I expected. What I expected Monday was because they claimed that like the higher ups of Trading was like, you know, looking into the issue or whatever. I honestly expected them to say that y'all were having quotes issues, like when I was having that one issue that day with Rhythmic, and all the guy mods in the chat was trying to tell me all this other stuff that was extremely irrelevant, and come to find out there was a quotes issue for 3 minutes, and I just so happened to trade in the 3 minutes. But when they were saying, oh no, I just traded, there was no issue, it was like 30 minutes later. Well, duh, you know. So I thought that they were going to tell y'all that y'all were having a quotes issue and, you know, everything would be fixed. Because the thing was, they were supposedly looking for a fix. So how are you looking for a fix on what is not a problem? You get what I'm saying? In order for you to look for a fix, that means that you have to acknowledge that there is an issue. Or am I tripping? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. All I can say is these people better watch out, because class action lawsuits are a thing. And based on how things are going in the Forex community, I would think that these futures brokers and props would be treading lightly, because people are already fed up in the trading space. And can you imagine like coming to futures? Because I've seen so many videos and forums of people switching to futures now from Forex. But can you imagine if you were coming from futures or from Forex to futures, and you get a Trading account and you dealing with these issues? Like, is everybody trying to scam me? I'm confuzzled. I don't know. It's just not a good look. Not a good look at all. And you know what? I wonder if that trade that I just lost right when I got on the stream, I actually, let's see. No, that one doesn't count. That one doesn't count either. I'm wondering if it was just because, like, the volume pattern that I was looking for is correct or was correct. But I think that because, all right, the volume of this swing right here before the 1 bar pullback, this volume is more than this volume of that swing, right? And I think that with those particular divergences, I can't take them after a 1 bar pullback, which kind of makes sense because a 1 bar pullback is not a real pullback to begin with. The problem is I really just started trading that again, trading any divergence where the current swing is higher than the previous swing in the same direction. So it might take a while before I can truly know. So probably what I'll do in this moment is just not take those for now, because I feel like that's what makes the most sense. Because aside from that, like literally everything else was fine. Wasn't the volume pattern I was looking for. That one wasn't either. But yeah, I feel like that's the only thing. Like, you guys, this week, even though the market's been super slow, I have had to make extremely minor adjustments from Monday and Tuesday. And I suspect that any other adjustments I have to make will be super minor, like the trade I just talked about. Like, volume pattern looks great, but I think just no divergence after a 1 bar pullback if the current swing is higher than the previous swing. Just little stuff like that, which that's something that I can easily remember. Like, I wouldn't even have to write that on my cheat sheet. It's something I can very easily remember. Because it makes sense. Yeah, you can't blame it on the market. Of course, it's because you're trading the open, and then it's because you're trading 15 minutes after the news. I mean, it's just some of the things that they say just really piss me off. It really does. Y'all, I didn't go off on the guy, but I definitely had to say something to this one particular guy in one of the Facebook groups. I'm not quite sure why everyone who has quite a bit of experience in trading thinks that everyone else does not. So, somebody asked a couple of days ago about switching from minis to micros in the middle of a pay cycle on their PA, right? So I did my due diligence and told the person, like, hey, just so you know, you can run into issues, you know? And I was like, it's better for you to just switch after you request a payout. And I just basically let them know that you have a high risk of being denied because they could look at it as a withdrawal strategy. So first this one girl comes on and she's like, well, I did it and I was approved. And I'm like, well, that's cute, but I know people who got denied. And then there were several people in the comment section who admitted that they got denied because of consistency, and they had to continue to trade micros for another 10 trading days in order for them to get approved. So I'm like, girl, calm down. I know what I'm talking about. Trust you me, okay? But anyway, so this one guy makes a reply to my comment and was like, well, people should be trading micros. People shouldn't be trading minis anyway, or something like that. And so I was like, well, it would definitely depend on someone's strategy, you know, or whatever. So then he comes and he's like, strategies are not, what the did he say? Because he really irritated me. Let me tell y'all exactly what the man said. So he said, better to trade micros on new PAs until you pass the threshold and have a bit of cushion and then trade minis. Okay. So let's see. That to be 254. Hold on. I might get into a trade. Held place. The yellow line is where my bias just changed from a downtrend to an uptrend. There's the zone right there. I did not expect for it to need so much volume to push down. Ooh. I'm gonna get stopped out before I can. You're trash. I would have tried to break even because the zigzag changed, but I couldn't. But anyway, so he says, so I told y'all what he said. So I said, definitely depend on one strategy. For most people, yes, it's best. So he's like, but strategies are inconsequential. It is the risk management that is important. Remember, on a 50K PA, it's 10 contracts of buying power, but really a $2,500 equity account. So trading minis is reckless unless you pass the cushion and build the equity, says an 18-year trader here. I don't know what it is about people that have to parade around how much trading experience they have as if it makes whatever they say more valid than what someone else says. Y'all know that is a pet peeve of mine. Y'all see me go off on 2 people on my channel because of that. Like, what does your 18 years have to do with what we're talking about here? So I said, I know that. I'm not a newbie either. I've been trading futures off and on for 10 years. If someone is only risking, say, $50 to $100 per trade, using a mini isn't the worst thing in the world. That's why I said the strategy matters. You and I both know a scalper's risk is different than an intraday swing trader's risk. Plus, most people are playing the game of props. While they may only risk 1% of their capital in a personal account, 5% isn't that big of a deal in a prop account. Even 10%. It's a prop account, for Pete's sake. I didn't even talk about the 10%. I just said the 5%. He couldn't even respond. All he did was respond with a thumbs up. Because now you look stupid. You had no reason to say anything that you said to begin with. Like, I just get so confused with people. And it's, I just don't get it. I just don't. So now you and your 18 years of experience, you look stupid. You look dumb. You look dumb. At some point, these people are going to realize everybody isn't newbies because they're working with prop firms. You know what I mean? Like, you have 18 years of experience and you're in a room for prop firms. So don't you think other people have experience in here? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. 692. I think that's going to push 2. Yeah, that waited too long. I sent it to my friend and he said he's at home fuming. He's tired of your black ass. Probably. And I don't care. I don't. Okay. I'm gonna let today not irritate me, because to start out 2-0 and then take the next 2 trades and their losses is pretty fucking annoying, to say the least. Pretty annoying. pretty annoying. I don't think I'm gonna take that sell if it happens. What is that? 21.75. I could now technically. The problem is I'm gonna wanna. All right. At this point, we're just taking the trades. You just gotta do what you gotta do. So I did break even right there because we were trying to push back into the zone. And right when I broke even is when it pushed all the way through. That's why I manually broke even right there. Trying to push back into the zone that changed it to an uptrend. We got equal. All right, no sale here. That must have closed me out. Yep. Okay, volume. I'm curious. I wonder if it's only. I wonder. I'm gonna have to go back. I want to go back and look at my data for something specific. And it has to do with this loss. This right here didn't touch my minor level. It only touched this like green support level, which is not technically a problem. However, I feel like it's going to follow a specific pattern of something else. I'm gonna have to look at that. All right. You seen the Trade Zero office in the Bahamas? How was it? How was your trip overall? What all did you do? This trade here is a little iffy. Not really the most. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. It's gonna do something else anyway. But yeah, how was your trip? I have a feeling, and I need to put, that's probably what I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna put into an Excel spreadsheet all the trades from the first week I started this, so March 11th until now. Yeah, from March 11th until now. And then I'm going to make sure that every day I journal those particular trades each day so that I can make sure so I can make sure that if I have any adjustments that need to be made, that I can see them ahead of time, because the Excel spreadsheet helps me to see if there are any additional adjustments that need to be made. Like I said, I know they're going to be super minor, but it's so much easier for me to do it from data in an Excel spreadsheet versus in my journal. I mean, it's kind of easy in the journal just because I color code, like there's 3 parts of a trade for me. So I color code it that way. And that way it's very easy for me to kind of check back and look at certain stuff. But I definitely need to get back to journaling in the Excel spreadsheet. It makes things so much easier. You didn't go in, you just drove by. It was doing too much. Ain't have time to go take a picture by. The trip was a 10 out of 10. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Definitely glad you enjoyed yourself. All right, we have crude oil coming up in 3 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go. Look at this. All right, so I know exactly what I'm looking for. Know exactly what I'm looking for. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the one divergence trade right off the new low, pretty sure that's a no-no. No, I can't take that after a 1 bar pullback, regardless if the low is there or not. All right, I don't see. Wait, why didn't I go through? Oh, because I did it on the other thingy. Do I have that? No. Yeah, no, I think I have to keep it the way I have it right now. So that loss was just a doozy. I think really the only thing that could be mitigated was that divergence after the 1 bar pullback. Quite sure. Quite sure. Wait, oh, that was a Friday. Alright, can't pay attention to that data. I'm just waiting for a couple of swings to paint after the news events. And then I'll start looking for entries again. Maybe I can do that. Wait a minute. The then it would be the same rules as the other one. That's a Friday. Can't look at that. Okay, so I actually am going to look into that because I think it's going to follow the same exact rule as the other way to trade it. So I'll take a look at it after the stream is over and I'll judge it from there. I might just sit out of it if it happens a couple of more times and just judge it from there, more than likely. All right, so we need 2 swings from, we haven't had the first swing just yet because I start the swing count at 9:31 since it was low impact news. There's the first swing and we need 1 more and then I could look for trades. Let me not sit like that. Let me not. That would be very interesting if that ends up being a thing. Because it would follow that pattern. Well, not that exact pattern, but yeah. Curious. I'm very curious. Probably have to just do this. This is why I keep my Excel sheet open. Edit 327.24. I really want to see it clear this zone. This zone is, we haven't pushed away from it, and this is pretty much what we've seen all week too. Alright, let me remove this. Wait, did I delete the wrong? Oh, no, I didn't. Delete those. All right, maybe we're gonna push away from the zone now. We'll see what a buy pullback looks like when it happens. All right, let's remove this. That. secure. Hey Applejacks, how are you this morning? Oh wait, hold on. I didn't see that. I didn't get the alert that it pulled back. I'm glad I looked up. I'm not gonna get what I'm looking for. I highly doubt it stalls this long. So I need the volume of this candle to be more than the previous one, which I don't think will happen. Okay, now I don't need it to stall that long. Well, kinda. Kinda. Food was good, did a lot of partying. I don't drink, but I did out there. 683. Did jet skis, you missed your private island ride because you sold out of tickets and your homie didn't pre-purchase his. Aw, man. I would have left his ass. Well, no, I went into a private island by myself. I changed my mind. Alright. I'm going to get into this buy. And we'll see what happens. Even though they let off like 4 shots at a concert, but it happened just as I was walking up. So I got in free because security and police was out. Trenches. What concert did you go to? I am weak. Not they were occupied. Were they? You're great. Good. I take it you must have had breakfast this morning. Since you're doing great. You're not cranky. I'm definitely going to get into this buy. It's just a matter of if it's going to close or not. Well, we didn't get a fill. What's new? But I'd rather that happen than me use market orders. I cannot stand market orders, especially with how quickly price takes off from my entries. No market orders for me. Just gotta deal with the no fills sometimes. It's kind of been happening like about once every couple of days or so. Because I don't think I had it yesterday, but I'm almost certain I had it on Monday. Bahamian artist. Yes, and you hungry again, girl. So my mom and a couple of my family members, they went out to Nashville over the weekend for my cousin's bridal shower. And so one of my cousins who likes to party, she asked this man with no teeth. Let me just, because that variable matters in this story. She asked this man with no teeth, like, you know, where's the nice spots? I'm looking for like a little nice hole in the wall just to relax and have fun. It plays music, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. Boom. So he tells her to go to this place called Larry's. So they go to the place and it's like a gravel road. My mom's like, I couldn't tell if it was a truck stop. I couldn't tell anything, blah, blah, blah. There's like a food truck outside of the lounge, bar, whatever it is. It's a food truck outside, and you order your food there and they bring it into you, and, you know, that's your food. They don't serve it like inside of the bar, whatever. So they're in there, they having fun, whatever. And out of nowhere, they said this guy got into it with this girl. And he proceeds to tell them, come follow me, kind of thing. Now, first of all, who follows somebody you just got into it with? I'm confuzzled. What is wrong with you? Red flag number 1. So music's playing, whatever, they're chilling, and all of a sudden, shots ring out. My auntie, she said that she got under the table And we might actually, okay, well, I'm gonna get into this buy right here if it pushes in this particular candle. So shots ring out. My auntie's like, I'm underneath the table, and you know, they're just saying, lock the door, lock the door. So then my cousin, who was there, she had ordered food. So she saw the waitress come inside from getting her food from the food truck. She under the table with her hand up like this, like, that's my food, give me my food, type of thing. And I was just like, first of all, why did we go to a place recommended by a guy with no teeth? You should have known that hole in the wall was a hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I did kind of chance it taking this trade at this major support level. If it loses, I'm okay with it. Because when I went back in my back testing, I'm okay to take these, I think. Before I didn't used to at the major support and resistance level, but I think it was based on results from before I refined the strategy rules. So we're just going to stay in the trade and we'll see what happens. And if it loses, I'm okay. Okay, maybe I won't be okay. No. But yeah, and so my aunt, who's kind of like me, she's not really the most, all right, so maybe I won't take the freaking trades at the major levels. I mean, geez Louise, push back up. You have more than enough volume to push. Okay. So never mind, we won't be doing it. Jesus Christ. But anyway, so my aunt, who's like me, she's at the door ready to go, like after everything's settled. And my cousins who, oh, you know what? Y'all, I'm so stupid. This had nothing to do with the fact that it was a major level. My minor level was weak. I didn't pay attention to it and it didn't pull back to it. Anytime it's weak, it has to pull back to it. And I made that mistake last week as well. Because that didn't used to be a rule for me. So that's my fault, but whatever. Anyway, so she's at the door and she's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. My cousins, two of my cousins who are like around my age, they're still sitting there eating. And she like, why they gotta eat here? Why we can't take the food and go? We was just in a shootout. And then my other cousin, she was on her way to the door. She's I think maybe like 42 or so. She's on her way to the door, but they play her song, so she doubles back and now she's on the dance floor, and it pisses my auntie off to the highest degree. She was pissed. And all I was thinking to myself was, I'm so glad I did not go out of town with y'all, because that's ghetto. That is so ghetto. 477 is where you're looking for your next move. Let's see if we get up there. Yeah, I cannot believe I did. I legit always forget this rule. It's probably going to take me to the end of the week to forget it. I mean, to remember it, not forget it. But yeah, my minor level was right here. It was weak before I got into the trade. I did not pay attention to it, even though the words are really big right there. It says weak. And yeah, that was a new rule as of last week, that if it's a weak level, it has to pull all the way back. So I'm pretty sure if that level wasn't weak, we would have got a win out of that. But this is pretty annoying. I started off 2-0 and now I'm 2-3. That's annoying, but that's okay. Like I told you guys, as long as these two accounts can just last until their renewal dates, that's all I care about. I just want the repetition from trading. I don't care about even attempting to pass the accounts, like no nothing. I actually, at this point, because I accidentally passed that one eval that got me to the PA, because of that, I like legit rather fail the account before, like, without having to purposely do it at this point, because I just don't want that to happen again, if I'm being honest. I just don't. I want to win fair and square. Not looking like it's gonna get there. I don't know. We're back at the zone that changed it to an uptrend, so But my major level is right here. That's what it just pushed off of. So there's basically 2 levels right here right now. So let's see what happens. Matter of fact, let me see, because like I said, I try not to put too many indicators over here, although I only have 2 more on my chart over here. But this way you guys can at least see my trend bias at the time. I used the solar winds and I used that one. The zigzags are gonna mess up, but that's all right. I just don't want to put the minor one over there because I think that'll be a bit much. But you can see like the indicator tells you when levels are weak, although I don't really care if the major level is weak at all. It doesn't make me any difference. However, sometimes when you see multiple weak steps is what they call it, there's a high chance for price the next time it comes down to this for it to start trading below. So we'll see what happens. And then if this decides to go into a downtrend, I need it to break that zone. Yesterday, I was talking about a report came out. The Fed might not cut rates. That's why the market fell off at close yesterday, and we probably can expect red today and tomorrow. Listen, when the market is red, I still want to be green. Trenches. I still want green. Yeah, I think I was watching. No, I think I was off of. No, I studied most of yesterday. Actually, I studied till like 5 o'clock. I basically, well, first of all, I went through my trade journal, and initially, like the first week that I started trading this strategy, in my trade journal, I ended up just like categorizing the trades as old 16-in-1 strat since I was the first week. But I realized I actually did not want to do that. So I just went back through and recategorized everything based off of what the actual setup was. But if it was a setup that was invalid at the time that I took it, because I do write those down when I'm journaling, I always categorize it as invalid. And then I went back, and any trade that's invalid now based on new rules after I took that trade, then that's how I categorize that. Because I wanted to see, like, even if I take away all the trades that I did not take, I wanted to see if I only took the invalid trades, what my P&L would look like. And then also that way I have all of that data for the future if I, need to go back and look at anything. The only reason why I still prefer to use Excel spreadsheets though is because even though when I look at, all right, I'm going to start wait, no, not that one though. Even though when I look in the trade journal, I can filter things to see which strategy is giving me the most headache. I can't see the different variables of the strategy, and that's why I still prefer an Excel spreadsheet at the end of the day, because my Excel spreadsheet will tell me exactly what parts of the trade is causing me the most issues. So that's why even though I have the online trade journal, I'm just still always going to use the Excel spreadsheet. Taxis are really not that bad. It's $35 to $40 a ride. So if it's multiple people, you could. But if you go to the Bahamas and want to do a lot of movement, rent a car, the buses are $2. That came in clutch. You were willing to take up. Well, I think the only reason why it's hard for me to take public transportation anywhere, I don't care if it's in the country or out of the country, is because I never took public transportation in my own city. So I just don't be feeling comfortable, honey. I don't. The only public transportation I've ever taken here is the Metrolink, and that was like back in the day when we used to go to Cardinals games, because that's what made the most sense. You know, you park at the Metrolink and you take the Metrolink. Nowadays, I would never. Okay, I would not. I don't know. People are just crazy people. And I think that, like, working in psych for as long as I have and knowing so many people's backstories of how they like snap, whether they have a psychological disorder or not, like, I am not trying to lose my life because somebody stepped on your shoe and didn't apologize. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't. But I think the only time I've taken public transportation out of the country, though, was whenever I was in Mexico and we went to that club Coco Bunga. You had to take a bus, and that I felt comfortable because, you know, it was a big tour bus and it was just everybody from the resort who was going and stuff like that. So I was comfortable with that. I was. So you can see we're trading underneath my major level right there. However, I am actually looking to buy right here. Oh, it didn't change the color of the screen. I wonder why. It's supposed to change. Let me see if I got the wrong settings on. Oh, duh. Because you don't got it on, girl. Alright, that's going to mess up for a couple of seconds again. Wait, why does it look so different over there? Well, geez Louise. That was fast. Alright, I don't like how dark that is. Hold on. I don't want it to be that dark, but basically the background color is what my overall bias is. Why is it so dark? Alright, let's try 20 instead of 30. That trade took profit so fast. Alright, yeah, that's a little bit better. That's a little better. What was that? Legit, like 1 second? 2 seconds. Alright, so at this point, 1, 2, I'm 3, 3, and 1. 3 wins, 3 losses, and a break even. I still have a feeling 2 of those losses, I'm almost certain we're gonna end up mitigating those. I'm quite, actually all 3, because I forgot that the 3rd loss was legit just my fault not paying attention to the weak level. If that is the case, what I'm really hoping is that by the end of tomorrow, I'm like done having to make the last minor adjustments. Nothing has been major at all, probably all week actually. I think there was a couple of major adjustments I had to make last week. And when I say major adjustment, I mean like the foundation of the setup. Like, oh, I was not necessarily looking for the wrong volume patterns, but I have to be a little bit more restrictive on the volume patterns, or I need to be less restrictive on the volume patterns. So that's what I mean by major stuff. Minor stuff is more like, oh, I can't take this particular trade, this particular setup at this particular level. Like, that's minor, because most of the time it's not going to set up that much. But sometimes it just makes sense as to why certain things don't work. heck is this? Oh yeah, I don't really like that trade at all, actually. This is a very weird area right now. Very weird. Good morning, True Seeker. How are you this morning? Back to break even. I started off with 2 wins and no losses. Then took 3 losses in a row, I think. And just took a win. So we're back break even. But like I was just saying, I know one of the losses obviously can be mitigated because I wasn't supposed to be in it anyway. I wasn't paying attention, but I'm pretty sure the other 2 will be as well. Matter of fact, where's my red pen? I am quite sure. I know exactly. And it makes sense because my other divergence that's similar, I can't take those either. So we just go. Because I know that was the only issue with that trade. Can't complain. So you weren't in here earlier, but basically I decided to put the indicator that I use to determine my overall trend bias, and it also shows what my major level is. I went ahead and I put it on the chart so that it's kind of easier for you guys to see my thought process with certain stuff. But especially because a lot of times if let me go and zoom back a little, go backwards. So you can see like here earlier this morning, right? You can see typically when it pulls back to my major level, which is the red dots, I'll get some kind of consolidation because this is the area that determines if we're going to continue to go into the downtrend. You know, the background is red, so we were in a downtrend, and then the color of the dots will show what overall trend bias I have as well. But a lot of times we will consolidate here, and if we consolidate like this, then I'm almost certain it's going to go down. See? So if I ever decided I wanted to swing trade, I could easily do so based off of just how price reacts at the major level. Because when it's not a consolidating or like a low volatility environment or market, typically it will come back to this level quite often, like multiple times a day. You can kind of see we consolidated here again. We tried to break it. We actually closed above it. And then we just rejected again. But the rejection wasn't as long because of the way we pushed from the level. We really closed above it. But yeah, most of the time it's gonna consolidate a bit. All right, let me get back to here. And you can see like we're trying to kind of push back up above it to continue the uptrend, but we'll see if it has enough steam to do so. Every higher low did create a higher high. Now we have a double bottom. What I really want to see in order for me to really feel confident about this continuing up is I want my minor level to cross back above the major level. And the minor level right now is back here. So they kind of crisscross since they're not static. But yeah, so we'll see. And Trenches, you said 477, right? Oh, I can remember that. Okay, that's up by the current open and the overnight high. want to forget that we did close on the VWAP right here. I wouldn't have gotten filled there anyway. Cool. Alright. The miner is starting to turn up, but still not going past it. And then we have a double bottom, double top combo. So I'll have to see what price is trying to do here. But it's looking like it wants to reject. Reject down and turn into a downtrend. Based on that indicator, what would you say the main levels for today? So I can't really say that, and the only reason why I can't is because the levels move based on price, right? So I can't really say what the main levels are because they consistently move based on price moving. So you can see like when it changed to an uptrend, you know, as price is moving up, this is basically a version of a half trend is what this indicator is. But I really like it because it tells me, you know, if a pullback is weak, it bases it off the steps. You can't see the small number, but if this number is less than the previous step is what they call it, then it'll show as weak. But because this is a major level, there has to be quite a bit of movement. So you see how like here, the level stayed the same, even though price went up there. So it wasn't until price started moving above here that the level started moving with it. But it's really looking like it's not going to be able to hold that uptrend, and it's just going to push down here. But we'll see. But yeah, I literally only use it to know what my overall bias is, because divergence, so like if I was to take a divergence trade right here, if I didn't have this indicator on, right, for you guys, it would look like I'm taking a counter trend divergence trade. Why? Because, all right, well, we're in an uptrend, right? But then now this kind of looks like a downtrend, but I'm still trying to get into an uptrend, if that makes sense. Or another good example, like this, although it wasn't a valid one, this would look like a counter trend buy, because without this on the screen, you guys would see, all right, downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. She's taking a buy, that's counter trend. But for me, it's not counter trend because the overall bias was an uptrend. So the reason why that matters for me though is because a divergence trade like this, where the overall bias is the same color as the direction that I'm going, that's not counter trend for me. Counter trend divergence for me is this, and I treat them very differently. The volume requirements are different, like everything. So, and that's just something that I figured out in the midst of me backtesting. The crazy thing is, I bought this indicator years ago. And in their manual, they tell you to use two versions of it. One to tell you the minor trend and one to tell you the major trend. Now, the new version, I think it still does, but I think it tells you different settings to use than what I use. I use the initial settings that they recommended years ago. So I do have a minor one as well, but I don't want to clog up the screen and make it already looks kind of crazy with all the support and resistance levels on there. But Yeah, they tell you to use one to tell you the minor trend and one to tell you the major trend. Now, I traded a little bit different than how they tell you to use it, because they basically tell you, well, the old way that they used to tell you was only take pullbacks to the minor level that's in the direction of the major trend level. That's the only trades they would tell you to take, right? And then they would caution you that if you see weak levels on the minor, not the major, but if you see subsequent weak levels happening on the minor trend, the trend is typically exhausting, right? And I even told you guys when this was happening earlier that, hey, there's 2 weak levels in a row on the major trend, so more than likely we're going to start trading below it. And what did we do? We started trading below it. Now we tried to push up here, but we're rejecting again, and now we're creating a lower high. So these are like some of the things that I just noticed, which is chart time. Lots and lots of it. But that's mainly how I use it. And I know that anytime it's an uptrend and we start trading below this, that there is an opportunity for some kind of divergence to happen and push us back into the uptrend. But a lot of times after I take that initial buy to try to continue with the uptrend, is probably going to fail. And then we'll just start trading below and change the overall trend. So when I've been telling you guys for the last couple of weeks, like that I have 2 levels that tell me my overall trend bias, these are the 2. So the first one is from this rotation indicator, the market structure indicator. That's what the red line is right there. Okay. And then the second one is what they call the trail and stop of this particular indicator that shows the major level and stuff, the solar wind. So as you can see right now, we broke the first level because this blue thick line changed into a red line for resistance. So we broke that. However, we didn't break the second level, which is the white crosses. So that lets you know that, you know, this could continue an uptrend because we only broke one level and not both. And then the fact that we came back and we retested this same zone, we do have a chance of just pushing up to this level up here. Because typically, and I don't know if it's going to work out this way this time, but typically, if we attempt to push and we fail and we come back and retest that same zone, we're just going to continue to push. Typically. Not all the time, though. But typically we will. But yeah. Literally the only other thing on my chart over here besides the volume up down indicator is just the minor version of this major level thingy. And so with the minor one, of course, that doesn't change the background color of my charts because I do that based off of the major level. It only changes the color of the bars. Because me seeing that is important. Because like if my minor level, if the minor trend changes twice from in the ABC pattern before I get into the trade, I can't take those trades. So there's like little stuff like that I have to pay attention to. But I wouldn't be surprised if we push all the way up to that lavender line up there. Because right now we can see some consolidation between this zone and up there because we broke one level and not the second one. So either we're going to push up to that lavender line or we're going to trade below this and reject off of the major level again on the downside. So we'll just have to see what happens. But that's kind of why I'm so not into intraday swing trading anymore, because I don't want to have to be right on a bias like for a more long-term trend. I only care what happens 10 seconds after I get into my trade, since most of my trades are in and out within 10 seconds. I only care that I'm right for those 10 seconds. You can do whatever the hell you want to do after that. But in those 10 seconds, I just need you to go in my direction. That's it. So right now, because my minor level is still below the major one, I wouldn't be surprised if this rejection here just pushes us down and we don't get up there. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If my minor level was in front of the major level, I would feel different and I would feel like we're going up. But like I said, it's pretty hard to tell just because the levels are so weirdly out of order right now. So for me, I'm just waiting. Rejection. Now let's see if we can actually clear both levels this time. Because if I was intraday swinging, I would literally just enter here and get out at the major level, since it's not a guarantee that it'll break the major level. And that's not much of a swing. I mean, it's, let's see. It's 40 ticks. It's not that bad. Not that bad. It's 10:15 already. I feel like this morning has gone by fast but slow at the same time. Oh, he's up 376. Nice. Nice. I was telling one of my trading buddies yesterday that even aside from like the small tweaks that I had to make based off of this week so far, this week was just trash no matter what. Because I think that between Monday and Tuesday were like barely over break even. So the total profit between Monday and Tuesday was like $157 or something. Which is fine. I mean, I tell you guys all the time, my biggest goal is that my strategy works in high volatility markets and low volatility markets. That is all I care about. That is it. That is all. All right, let's see what we do here. This divergence is a little wonky because when it's opposite colors on the swings, I don't want the zigzag to be in the same direction that I'm trying to trade in. I would have wanted that to be a sell. I wouldn't have taken it because we're going back towards a VWAP, but if it was more seller pressure for this buy, I would be more convinced that we could push up beyond the major level. But because it wasn't, it's a little iffy still. We did push off of the rotation level though. And we're going to end up creating structure above it. So let's see if we could push past the major level and actually continue the uptrend. Let's see, did that create a double bottom? Yep, pretty much. And we basically created a double bottom from the first time we retested the zone. And you can see retest. You could take profit at that major level right there and just see what happens again. But I always expect consolidation when it breaks one of the two levels and not both. Always. And legit, if I squeeze the chart, right, you can see that we've been consolidating between the zone and the major level since whatever time this is. I can't see that far. Let's see what time that was. Pretty much since like 9:49, we've been consolidating in this area. So let us see what happens. And this is what this is like only 56 ticks. So about a 14-point range right now. We rejected off of it again. Oh wait, I forgot I was doing this. Alright, that one goes. That one goes. Wait, not that one. Now remember I said if we push through here, we are likely to hit that level up there, which is at 439.66, so 439.50 basically. Don't say it. Let's see how we react with this pullback. We're coming back to hit it again. But this time, we might actually push higher. Might not. It's another reason why I like the order flow zigzag, because it can kind of tell me what the buyers and sellers are doing, what kind of pressure we have. We still haven't really created the structure above this level for me to be convinced that we'll go up to the 439. Not yet. And my minor level is inching closer and closer to it. It's right here now. If it crosses it going up, then I'll for sure feel like we're gonna hit up there. Still not all the way convinced. Yep. Big time consolidation. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we consolidate until we break here or break 439. So if you're trading, just be careful. We've been consolidating since right when we touched this zone. I'm looking at the 1 and 2 minute chart from Nutty and Alpine's streams, and it looks like that might be where his 20 EMA is. Can't tell. That wall. All right, no sell there. Let's see if we reject here again or if we try to push up beyond. Let's see. All right, I'll do it like that so you can kind of see a little bit more of the structure. Oh yeah, I do want to update you guys. I haven't gotten an answer yet, but I did reach out to the head of support because so one of my trading friends, buddies, whatever, so he has a 50K, right? He was up pretty significant on the accounts, requested a payout. And in the midst of requesting, like while he was waiting for approval, he had a day where he was stopped out by like, I don't know, it might have wicked him by like 8 ticks or something. He ended up losing like 7 grand on the trade. I think he went on tilt that day, but either way, he lost 7 grand that day. I don't think it was on the one trade, I can't remember, but either way. So he still went ahead and he had already requested the payout. So when this happened though, he was still above the payout threshold. Okay. He did end up getting denied for the payouts. And we were kind of confused as to like what was going on or whatever. So what we found out and what basically the payout team told him, and this is what I asked the head of support to bring up in a meeting today because it doesn't make sense to me. The way that they say it, right? When they review your accounts, because I saw this happen with someone else the day that we had high impact news, I think it was 2 weeks ago. But the day that they review your account, they base your 30%, the 30% consistency rule off of whatever balance your account is the day before, like the end of the, at market close, the day before they review your account. I don't like that. And the reason why is because if the number of days for the number of trading days that I need to get a payout, if that is based on request to request, so it resets on the day that I request, the 20% flipping rule is based off of how many trading days I have when I request, so request to request again. But you're basing the 30% rule off of my balance the day before you review my account. No, everything should be on the same timeline. So I gave her a good example where, okay, let's say that on the day that I request my payout, I'm at 55,000 in my account. All right. And my highest day is 1,500, which makes it an even 30%. So I haven't broken the 30% consistency rule. I have a profit of $1,500 and my total profit on the account is 5,000. Well, let's say that it takes them 5 trading days to review my account. And in those 5 trading days, I go into a slump and I lose $2,000. At this point, my balance is still above 52.6, so I still qualify for a payout. But because they took 5 trading days to review my account, now when they go and look at the balance the day before they review it, my balance is now going to be 53,000 versus the 55,000 when I requested. Now again, I'm still above the payout threshold, so I shouldn't be denied for that. But you're going to deny me because now my highest day is 1,500 and now you're looking at a balance of 53,000. So now it looks like I've broken the 30% consistency rule because now my 1,500 is half of the 3,000 that's in my account versus it being 30% of the 5,000 that was in my account when I requested. That's not okay to me because you could literally take the next 7 days, 8 days, because they always tell you have all the way up until the day of payout to be reviewed. Now, most people, unless people are scamming or using HFTs or, things like that, for the most part, most people are going to be approved before then, but you still have it there where my approval can take literally the entire pay cycle. I feel like you need to go based off of the balance that was in the account on the day that I requested a payout, period. That's like someone else, like I said a couple of weeks ago. I don't think it was last week. I feel like it was a couple of weeks ago, but I could be wrong. But he ended up trading his normal strategy. He actually forgot news was coming, but it was still his normal strategy, what he always does. And of course, news pushed him to a bigger profit. Right? So we were still in that trading day, like the market was still open. And so he was like, are they going to count this like in my payout request? And so we told him like, yo, you need to go request right now while the market is still open, because they should not take today into account, because if you're putting in the payout request today during market open, today shouldn't count, right? Because technically when I request it, your system shows a flash. It shows timestamps of everything, trades, balance, whatever. Your system shows you what everything looked like at the time that I requested it. So he ended up getting denied because they took that day into account. And I don't think that's right. If I request at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and the market is still open, whatever I did in the market today should not count towards anything. It just shouldn't. You just found my stream. Thank you, Methodical Man. I appreciate the follow. And thank you for the good luck. I hope you're a good luck charm. But thank you. You would, yeah, and I understand not trading until they remove the money. Listen, I wholeheartedly agree. However, I still don't think that they should be punishing people. Like, if you're still above the payout threshold, you can't take into account things that happen after people request. Like, because the 30% consistency rule is the only thing that's not on the same timeline of request to request. So it shouldn't. And I had a feeling that it was like that, because I remember when I asked the head of support about it, she was saying, like the 30% rule is based on approved request to approved request. But when she said it, I wasn't really I wasn't thinking for real. It was just like, oh, okay, it's from approved request. But then when this happened to my trading buddy, I was like, well, hold on. That actually doesn't make sense. And it shouldn't be based off approved request to approved request unless someone is denied. That part I get. But yeah, I just don't think that it's right. It should be just, you could say approved request, but it shouldn't be the approved request review date, because that's really actually what it is. It's not approved request to approved request. You're doing it based off of review date to review date, and that's not okay, because I don't know when your review date is going to be. That doesn't make sense. You shouldn't. After the first approval, it's usually much faster. Yeah, unless you break the 30% consistency rule. Because honestly, if you stay below the 30% consistency rule, you're less likely to get flagged for a manual review. Once you get into the manual review process, you are leaving your payout in the hands of another human being. And hell no. You shouldn't even have to explain that. It should be based on winning days if it's supposedly because they don't want a big one-day news trader. It's so... Yeah, I'm even okay with them still taking into account the huge, like your overall balance, still taking into account the losses. I'm still okay with that. I just don't like the timeline, because it's just not fair. If someone did not break any rules based on the day that they requested, you cannot take whatever, now what the account looks like 5 days later, 7 days later. That doesn't make sense, especially because y'all back up. Look, think about how backed up they be. It's just not cool to me. You're waiting on Bullinox to approve your request before you trade again because you don't want it to be an issue. Yeah. Is it true if I blow my Apex eval account? Yes. Yes, T Money. Don't you pay for resets? Don't. Listen, I'm a huge advocate of do not pay for resets. I have not paid for a reset in I don't know how long. Ever since I found out that it resets. So T Money, that's legit how I ended up passing my first account on accident. Because during this entire process of me putting my strategy together, which, methodical, you're new here, I'm actually putting together a strategy. I'm pretty much on the tail end of it. It's taken me like about 3 months to put this together. I'm like this close to finalizing things. The foundation of it is finalized, but I still have like little minor tweaks that I know I'll have to make. But either way, so basically the trading session before the renewal date, so like let's say that my renewal is tomorrow, I would make sure before market close today that I just fill the account, because I want the free reset. And I don't, people were arguing about this in the damn Discord yesterday. You can't call it a free reset because you still have to pay for the renewal. You idiot. It is a free reset because you're not paying an extra fee. Because it used to be where, I think when I first started, you didn't get the free reset on renewal. Like you still had to pay that reset fee. Okay. And the renewal on top of that. But yeah, so that's why during this entire process, I've always purposely failed the account so I can get the free reset on renewal. It just so happens that day, and I'm pretty sure it was because that particular day, I still had like $1,000, I think, in drawdown. I had quite a bit of drawdown left. Maybe like 700, and my balance was still at the initial balance. So I just failed at failing it because I had too much drawdown left in it, which was a good thing because that just let me know that, you know, for those 3 weeks that I allowed myself to trade the account, I did pretty decent. You know, my balance was back to normal and stuff like that. I was just missing a little bit of drawdown. But yeah, so I always purposely fail it. And I know that there are some people who feel like you should not purposely fail it. You know, you should just go ahead and try to YOLO it and pass it. But the way that I see it, and this is just my thought process, I feel like you should treat evals how you treat PAs. You had what, 20 trading days to pass that account, right? So if you didn't pass it in the 20 trading days, depending on how you trade. Now, if you trade like 1 micro per trade, that's a little different. But the way I see it, if you did not pass the account in those 20 trading days, why YOLO it to try to pass it now? And then you're going to take those behaviors into your PA. And you're going to be like these people that have this revolving doors of PAs. And I feel like it's best for you to just fail it and reset it. Just restart from fresh with a fresh new 30 days and go from there. That's just my thought process. You have a bunch of funded accounts to trade, so I always have, oh, well, if you got a bunch of accounts that you can trade, yeah, you definitely want to do that. Definitely. So what all prop firms do you trade right now besides Bull and Ox? You like that my funded futures doesn't auto reset on renewal and they give you the reset to use for 30 days if your account is still active. But wait a second. But it only resets if it's in a failed state with Apex though. If it's not in a failed state, like let's say that you just are down $500 but you still have not failed the account, it doesn't auto reset though. But you like the fact that they don't auto reset on renewal. But shouldn't they auto reset? Because if you fail the account, you can't use it anyway. You only have like 11 to 12 trading days. That's not bad though. Top Step, my funded futures, Bull and Ox, Apex, and let's take Profit Trader, right? So out of those 5, which ones do you like the best? I actually heard that Tick is not that bad. For me, I don't plan to get any accounts from any other prop firm until I have 20 from Apex. It's just my personal preference. But I'm always interested in what's out there though. Excuse me. What time is it? All right. Let's see if I can get a sale here. Excuse me. I'll need for it to stall here for a bit though. If it decides to. See if it does. What am I looking for again? 993. This bar closes up. It's gonna reset the counter. So now I have to wait again. So this is kind of what I was saying earlier, True Seeker, if you're still here. I think it was True Seeker. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, it was True Seeker. So like if I take a divergence trade here, right? It's gonna look like this is completely counter trend. If I didn't have the colors for the background, it'll look like it's completely counter trend. Like we broke structure, we created you know, a higher high. But for me, this is actually with the trend because it's with the overall trend and it's actually at my major level. But we did not stall there long enough for me to get into that trade. So now do we wait for the next one? Shall we wait? All right, that just stalled there too long. So the buy just invalidated itself. But you don't get to use the reset. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So basically, it doesn't auto reset on the renewal, but they give you 30 days to be able to renew it whenever you want it to renew versus renewing automatically. I think I'm understanding that right. Apex is your favorite just because of the 20 fundeds. You're long, but not great so far. Where's your long at? So you can see we attempted to finally change to the downtrend, right? However, we immediately rejected off of this support level and now we've pushed back up. So we might actually instead head upwards. And if we break this zone, so I literally just draw my zones based off of both of the levels that change the overall trend bias. So if we break that, then we look to go up, which we likely will because I don't see this divergence. That divergence won't work out at all. You're long at 416. You should be okay. Where's your take profit at? Oh yeah, that's the other thing about here. I don't mind people saying what levels they're looking for, what trades they're in, any of that. That doesn't bother me at all. At all. Especially because a lot of people might be trading on the same charts as you. I'm just typically the oddball that's not since I'm using Rinkos. But yeah, 430. You might actually be okay. You scaled half already. So 416 to 430. That's not a bad trade at all. Because I know that if this pulls down, it's not going to be a valid trade, which means that it might just be a pullback to continue up. But again, because I scalp for a little bit at a time, 4.5 points, this could be an invalid trade for me, but still push down from here since the bias is a downtrend right now, at least. But since we're trading above the zone, it's a pretty good chance it could go up though. If we break the 27.25 level, you should be okay to get all the way to 430. You stream too? Oh, I didn't know. Let me go find you. You just got long at 415, but 429 is probably your exit. See? Y'all basically have the same entries and exits. The same ones. I'm gonna go follow you. Subscribe and I'll keep you open. I like to keep YouTubers that I watch open at the time that I'm streaming. Uh-oh. You trade ICT, huh? It looks like a fair value gap indicator. $21 EMA. Let's see what we do here at this 27 level. Inversion gaps. Is that part of ICT too? Or something else? The only thing I ever hear people from ICT talk about is fair value gaps. That's all people say. FVGs. Yeah, you should. That's an invalid setup right there. So trenches, your exit is 29. And Methodical Man's is 30. And your break even is at 415. See if this rotation level pushes it back up. Well, you scaled half and you got your break even. It's better than a loss. It's better than a loss. You're not a follower of it. You draw them manually? Okay. You know what? He has created some crazy followers. His followers kind of remind me of Dave Ramsey followers. Yeah. They can be a little crazy. Basically, FVG is getting wrecked. Ah, so you trade the inversion of the... Okay. I got you. Makes sense. Makes sense. I know I had downloaded this because I saw so many people talking about fair value gaps and ICT. Now, I tried to watch a video of his one time and baby, listen, I turned it off very quickly. Okay. Yeah. But there's like this free indicator in the NinjaTrader ecosystem that draws the fair value gaps for you. So I had downloaded and I was looking at it, and really my only issue is I just hate time-based charts. And it's really weird because I was pretty consistent with trading on a 2-minute chart when I was intraday swinging. But I think after I figured out I didn't really want to intraday swing long term, then that was just that. Actually, one of my trades popped up in my feed yesterday. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I was trading my real account. I'm pretty sure this was the Dow. My entry was down here, and I was up like $200 on a no, this was not the Dow. This was the ES actually. And I was up, what is this, 42 points? Yeah. As much as I hate the ES, let me just make that clear. But as much as I rag on the ES, I don't really like it. But I was making some money, y'all. I was. Oh, the other trade was the Dow. That's what it was. Let me see if I can, I'll try to put it up on the screen. But, and these screenshots are from like, I think 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me send them to myself. And then I'll open them. I can't take a sell right here either. Well, let me show y'all. And I hate, oh my God, I've always hated the ES. I was really good with trading it, but geez Louise. What we got here? Still, the structure is just still so weird. I just can't trade it yet. It sucks. Alright, I'm gonna save this image. Where's my downloads folder? Alright, let's save that one. And we'll save that one. Oh, that's wacky. Oh, no, it's not. Alright, so here's the first trade. I guess I shouldn't have so much ES slander since I used to trade it, but this one was, I'm pretty sure, the Dow. And I used the intraday swing off a 2-minute chart. And I closed that one because I didn't want to hold both of them over the market close. But that was one of them. And then the other trade is here. This is the ES. And the crazy thing is, because I still have all of my journals and stuff, I could literally go back and see how I was trading this. But you could see it was my real account. I was trading micros. And my entry was 44.72 and the exit was 45 something. Well, I didn't even exit. I stayed in it for a while. But almost every day I get you know, memories that pop up on Facebook, because I used to like just share different trades and stuff. After I was like well into the trade, I would just share them on Facebook and my stories, and literally I only did it for this purpose, where like years down the line this is gonna pop up and I'm gonna see how I used to trade and just see like how much progress I've made, or you know, things like that. But yeah, so I didn't start scalping because I sucked at intraday swing trading. I just didn't like it. That's all. Dave teaches. He comes in my stream sometimes. I saw him pop up in the Apex Discord, I think last week for the first time, and I think they asked him to change his name. So I think he changed it to like It's Just Dave or something. I did see one of his videos pop up in my news, or not my news feed, in my YouTube feed. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did save it though, because I think he was talking about market structure. Oh, he tried to give you advice that will make your head spin. All gaps aren't equal. Yeah, you know, I just feel like whether someone is green, red, and of course they always do it on the days where you're red at the time. But I just feel like people just have to realize that people are not streaming for advice. Like I said yesterday, I think it was, if people were looking for advice while they're streaming, they would literally put in really big text, "I'm looking for advice, please help me." But that's typically not the case. Like, everybody knows that you're going to have red days sometimes, right? Or you might go into a slump, depending on what your strategy is. That doesn't mean that you suck at trading. That doesn't mean anything. Like, I think it's funny when people come into my stream and do it, because maybe I need to do like Nutty and have written on my thumbnail, "I'm still developing my strategy," like how he has. I'm still learning, because I'm supposed to be red while I'm developing something. I mean, yeah, I could sim trade. I could have did this off of YouTube, you know, and things like that. But why? Like, why not just be transparent and show people how difficult it could be putting something together from scratch, which is what I did. I put all of this together from scratch. Nothing that I learned in the past has anything to do with how I trade now, at all. At all. All right, this was the initial, yeah, that was the initial zone. So I'm going to keep that there for now. But yeah, some of these people annoy me when they go into people's chats of streamers. Like, come in, support them, or just don't go in there. What is the name of, oh, you're asking him, because, oh, what's the name of the indicator for the FVGs? I will tell you, because I have it downloaded, but I want to go straight into the NinjaTrader ecosystem so I could tell you exactly what it is in there. Because some of them, when you download them, like the name of the file is something different, so I always change it to what it actually is. But I got you. I got you. I got you. Oh wait, it looks like it's two. There's two of them, but this is the, if you type into the ecosystem, and actually I think I should be able to. Let me know if you could click this. Wait. If you go into that, it should bring up the search or whatever, and there's two of them. I'm pretty sure I downloaded the one that says version 0.0.3.0 because I'm pretty sure that's the same indicator. It's just the one that was added July of 2023 is the updated version of the previous one. So it just says fair value gap in parentheses ICT and then version 0.0.3.0. Pretty sure that's the one that I downloaded. Oh, we only got 5 minutes left in the session. No. Yeah, ES is extremely slow. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And I think it's very crazy that people who trade two-legged pullbacks do it on the ES. I talk about those people all the time because every day when I log into Facebook for like the 5 minutes that I do, every single time screenshots. Why didn't this work? Why did this one work? And it's like, well, you are trying to trade, and then they're only trying to go for like 6 ticks, but then the stop loss is astronomical. But it's like, have you tried that on any different instrument? Like maybe not the Nasdaq per se, but maybe you should find a happy ground at like with the Dow or the Russell or something. I don't know, but I don't know how people trade the ES. There's so much volume and no movement at all. You took it off at 23, waiting for it to hold over the 21 EMA. 429 now, but it might be done for the day. Oh, you said that when it was up there and we tried to break. You use the 25 wrinkles sometimes. I used to use a 20 and 2. I used a 20 and 2 for a very long time. I actually didn't switch to a 1 tick threshold until January 25th of this year. I used a 20 and 2 most of last year. Before I really started to really focus and figure out this was what I really wanted to do again, because I always quit. But I definitely prefer the 1 tick thresholds, only because I like the fact that I can see the full swing versus, you know, when I was on a 20 and 2 chart, the swings looked, well, they were basically half the size. And I feel like I got caught up in chop sometimes because of it. Now, granted, I could probably take the way I'm trading right now with the rules of my strategy. I could probably take that on other Renko settings and it'll probably work out now. But yeah, when I first came to a 1 tick threshold, I went from a 20 and 2 chart to a 20 and 1. And then I went to then I went to, I feel like it might have been a 16 and 1 initially. And then I played around with a 12 and 1, and then I was like, no, I didn't go to a 16 from a 20. I went straight from a 20 to a 12 because the market was so slow that I was getting nothing for like 2 weeks on a 20 tick chart. It just was not great. So I was like, all right, well, this obviously is not going to work on lower volatility markets. So let's just go to a lower time frame, a lower Renko settings. Did that for a week. It was pretty decent. It kind of moved a little too fast for my liking. But then that Friday, I remember the volatility was insane. And my eyes could not move fast enough. So at that point, I said, all right, well, we're going to chalk that one up. We're not going to do a 12. Let's find a happy medium at 16. So this is my 3rd week of trading a 16 and 1. And so far, I'm 99% sure this is the Renko setting I'm going to stick with. Not too fast, not too slow. Seemingly works when the volatility is high and low. So I think I'll be all right. We'll see. You're welcome, True Seeker. My very first eval paid for 1. Oh, your very first eval you paid for, you passed on the ES in 5 days, but you trade. How you trade with ES and decide? At what point did you decide, let me try out the Nasdaq? Like, what made you try out the Nasdaq after passing with the ES? Did you see like someone else's trades? What made you do that? I remember I used to be so afraid of the Nasdaq, but I liked it so much because it moved so fast. And I was like, man, I don't have to watch paint dry. Let's do it. But I will say that developing a scalping strategy with clear, concise rules on the Nasdaq is probably the most insane thing I've ever done. Ever. But I'm one of those people where I like a challenge, and that's why in the midst of all this time that it's taken me, which, like I tell y'all, I really only count the last 3 months because that's when I started trading more volume based. It's going to be so rewarding once I like finalize. Everything's kind of finalized now, but it's going to be so rewarding because I will feel like I conquered this beast that so many people feel like can't be conquered, or like there's no way that you can have clear, concise rules to trade the Nasdaq in every market condition. It's impossible because the Nasdaq is a crackhead and there's no real patterns that are consistent and blah blah blah. Like, I can't wait to conquer that beast because I'm gonna feel like I did something that so many people feel like cannot be done. I hear it every day. Every day. There's no way that you can make money on the Nasdaq consistently. Okay. All right. If you say so. All right. Let me show you guys. Oh, no. All right. I thought we were going to freeze for good. We did not. All right. You seen somebody else trading it? You started to trade micros and that MES just can't do it for me. Yeah. I especially feel like if you're going to be trading micros, you might as well be on the Nasdaq, because to trade micros in a slow market, why? Like, you're probably not even getting enough setups for any of it to even make sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge proponent. Some people think that I don't like micros because I don't trade them. But I'm still a huge proponent of micros based on whatever your risk is with whatever your strategy is, right? Because it doesn't make sense for you to trade a mini if your stop loss is 40 ticks or 50 ticks. That doesn't make sense. But I just feel like you have to be a special kind of person to be able to trade micros on the ES, okay? You're real special. All right, so let me show you guys the accounts dashboard real quick so y'all can see what the accounts are looking like going into the last trading day tomorrow, which I need to make a note in my journal to make sure I fail the number 17 account tomorrow. All right, let me unlock this so that it looks right in the correct order. But yeah, I need to purposely fail the first account that's listed tomorrow before market close so I can get that reset Monday. Welcome in. I don't want to butcher your first name, so I'm going to say Penny Smith. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub. You're subbing and coming in as I'm going out. But this is what the accounts are looking like. So, yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I did like the price action of today much more than I did the previous really 3 days, because I didn't really like Friday's price action either. The only thing I can say, like I said way earlier in the stream when I actually was taking trades because I had setups, of the 3 losses I think that I took, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to mitigate all 3 of those. So yeah, we ended up 3 wins, 3 losses, and a break even. I have not had a setup since 9:53, which freaking sucks, but whatever. So still have 575 of drawdown left in that first account, and then there's 887 in the second account. The second account does not renew until Friday of next week. So my only goal is for that to just last throughout the entire week, just so I can have multiple accounts that I'm trading. One of the 25Ks will be back on Monday. So regardless, I'll be trading 2 accounts next week, and that's that. So we will see what happens tomorrow. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the great conversation, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And Methodical Man, I'm going to be tuning in to the rest of your stream as I journal. Bye, guys.